all that really became true was because he knew who he was. He was comfortable with who he was. He took the time to learn the institution. We took the time to learn our opposition. We got to know our allies. We got to know ourselves. And we got to understand the environment in which we operated, in which we were trying to communicate. And today I think, maybe someone in our party, there's talk, they're starting to blink a little bit. They're listening to the tax spenders, not the taxpayers. I was talking to some of our folks up on Mackinac. I said, look, the tax spenders shout very loud, and they're persistent, and you're going to hear them. Don't listen to the 57,000 tax spenders in Lansing. Listen to the 8+ million taxpayers out around Michigan. That's where we line up. That's, as Jerry Ford said when he ran for re-election, to rearrange your I come and on your side I stand. That's where we need to be. And I think ultimately if we do that, we can get through this and we can really take advantage of really a bad time and can begin to restructure government, and do it in a way where we can really save money, where we can address a lot of these legacy issues that are going to come back, and they're there now, they're not going to go away. And people forget, all during the Blanchard administration, all during the Blanchard year, we had a 1-seat majority in the state Senate. That's all we had. We never lost a vote but one. I say we, Johnny. And when we became governor, all we had was a 1-seat majority in the Senate. But by sheer will, and courage, and vision, and an ability to persuade, and never back down from our course, we were able to overcome our recalcitrant House of Representatives, filled with a lot of these liberals that I talked about. And we effectively changed Michigan for the better and left real footprints, which is why it made it the 4 best years of my life, because we made a difference. And now your challenge is to get back, to be part of something that we can do again. It may seem impossible, 58, 52 in the House, but we can get it back. But we've got to stand for what we believe in our core and articulate that community. And we've got good people there. They just need support out here to let them know that the decisions they make are the right ones. That's what you can do. That's how you can help. That's the impact you can make. I was blessed that I was able to participate in what was a great era of history and maybe make a little significant contribution. Randy's very kind and says all the things that he says. It's nice to know that I have an ability to impact some people. I'm very proud of that and thank God for that. I've had that chance. And God's my Lord and Savior, and I would be where I am without him and the journey that he's put me on. And I thank him every day for that. And I thank you for giving me the opportunity to come forward tonight. If you get any questions, take them.
You talked a lot about marketing and your experience on different campaigns. What can you recommend today in the age of this hyper-information, 24/7 news cycles, that we can do better as a party? Because it seems like, up on Mackinac, that's the place to talk, and people talk grassroots as well. We're closer to things that, on Mackinac have some opportunities. We just don't do well as a party. I think it's a general consensus of most Republicans and Libertarians of getting our message out. It seems simple. Hey, don't raise taxes. If you make $50 grand a year, your taxes are going up $250, whatever it is, percentages. But how can you bring it home? We need to do a better job.
Well, I think you need to go to people around the media, the mainstream media, which in Michigan doesn't report politics anyway. So even if they agree with it, they just write the stories they used to do. They don't do that. So there's got to be a new communication, which what I would use is we have to do better at blogging than the D's do a much better job at that than we do. D's are much more disciplined. Of course, they've got something to rally on. They're against the war. They're against Bush. That's all they are. Republicans, some are against the war, some are for the war, some are, some are over here talking economics. That's our problem. Michigan, we're a little better in that we've got, at least with, when you don't have a governor, the governor sort of sets your message agenda. And we don't have a governor now. So that means there's going to be someone else going to fill that void. And the person who's really trying to step in and fill the void is our chairman for a party. That's all news is.
Right.
Now, bishops had some message, and there's been some message that's been coming from DeRoche in the caucus, but they started to split. So it really, I mean, there's no magic answer, but what we can do better is, number one, find out what our message is, and then communicate that through the channels back to our not just party people, but conservatives that might not be involved in the party apparatus. Party apparatus is very difficult for new people to get involved with. You got to do that better. It's these people volunteer, they want to help, they're shut out, they can't do it. That's what I'm saying, the blogs, using the internet more, communicating that way, using a lot of what I would call non-traditional communication techniques to communicate with grassroots people. I mean, that's, if you look at what happened on the immigration bill, it was the bloggers and talk radio that turned that around. That thing was sailing. You know, that thing was done deal. And it wasn't until, but we don't have talk radio here. So what we've got are bloggers and the internet. And so we got to do a better job at that. And the Ds do. I mean, they have a passion. I mean, they hate. I mean, they go overboard. They go over the line. And so you have just, and because they do that, they're often not successful, but they communicate to their base very well. So I would say that's one of the things we would do. I've been very disappointed in our ability. When I was doing some work with the DeVos campaign, and we had the blog, but you went on and look at all the blogs, I mean, we're blog to death out there. And that can begin to control a lot of the echo chamber, which then starts to feed in traditional mainstream communication. So we're going to be able to do this, right? Well, way in the back, woman in the back.
Thank you. Like what you said regarding the promoting ethics, values, and immigration, one of the things that I have seen that pertains to the political arena in my particular area is that oftentimes the Republicans are just as tax and spend as much as the Democrats are.
That's right.
Are there any things that can be done party-wise to make sure that we have people in there who are fiscally conservative, who have values, who have ethics, who are anti?
Sure, it's called primaries.
But
These primaries, I mean, that's how you're going to beat them. Because you're right. I mean, that's, we have a better chance of that here in our state legislature. It's tough to go primary in the United States Senate. I mean, it's hard to do. It's hard to primary a state representative, but your voter universe is smaller. You don't have, you can raise competitive money, but you've got to find people who really do share those values and primary these people in our party. You're not going to get it from the other side. So then the only way you're going to remove it is to find people to run against individuals in primaries. For example, when John Engler first ran, he primaried an incumbent. And then when he ran for the Senate, he primaried another incumbent. And he won both of those. So, I mean, that's the hard way. That's sort of a glib, maybe it's a glib answer. But, there's not a whole lot of, people get persuaded by they like to be liked at cocktails. We get Republicans for some reason. We like to be liked. And so we become captive to newspaper editorials. We become captive to what's nice to talk about at cocktail parties. And when you're doing tough stuff, then people don't talk nice about it. You know what? And so that's hard to do. But no one talked, our approval rating was 21% when Engler was governor in 1990.